Welcome, class. If you're watching the recording, we'll get started in just a moment. Make sure my video is a little clearer here. That's okay, I guess. Hope everyone had a good week. I hear most of y'all were doing STAR testing, which I've been there with my kids, and I know it's tiring, isn't it? It's a lot. So I'm sure you're glad it's over with. Just gonna wait till some students pop on here. We'll get started. If you have your markers handy, I emailed, there's Lily. Good morning, Lily. How are you today? Let's see. Change my screen a little bit here. Hi. Did you have a good week?
Yeah, look what I have. It's a lantern that can change different colors.
Oh,
see?
That's super cute. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's really bright too.
And this is the one that changes. This is the little one change.
Oh, fun.
It can even be a lantern upside down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's really cute. Let's see. I'm not sure Dexter and Zoe will be on this morning. They have internet troubles. They're only a few blocks away from me. So, but do you have scissors? Scissors, safe scissors?
Yeah, my pink scissors.
Perfect. And then
my pink scissors, I'm gonna put them on.
And then you'll need either crayons, markers, or colored pencils. And you don't need black, but you can use red, yellow, and blue, like these right here.
I just wanted to do something more. I'm gonna do something more black.
Okay.
So you have to follow directions.
You'll have black to use in the paint next time. Hey, oh, Dexter and Zoe are on. Oh, good. You got your internet figured out. Awesome sauce. Let's see. All righty. So have your safe scissors out, okay, you guys? And
I just used my sharp scissors, not the plastic.
Yep, I saw you had
the plastic scissors. Do not work.
And you can either use markers, colored pencils, or crayons in blue, yellow, and red, okay? And you can tell that those are, what do we call these three colors? These are our primary colors, right? Primary. And
I know they're primary.
We can make all the other colors of the spectrum out of these three colors. Isn't that cool? And when we talk about Alexander Calder today and next time with his painting, we'll talk about how he only used primary colors in his paintings and his sculptures and mobiles. And I think that's pretty interesting because there's so many other colors to use, right? But he preferred red, yellow, and blue. And as we're going to get started on making, so everybody has their clay, right? And that took me a little bit to get formed. So look at your clay. So we're doing a sculpture, a mobile rather.
Oh, we didn't see the clay.
It's in your bag. It looks like a clump of white in a Ziploc.
Oh.
We were supposed to get it.
Today my mom is going to get me clay.
All right, so we're going to start working on this clay.
Okay, clay. Come on.
My clay started out just like yours. there's Zach and Kian. Oh, good. Everybody's here. Hi there. Welcome. There's Kian. Let him in. Okay, great. So, like you two, I just mentioned, we're talking about Alexander Calder this month, and he used primary colors. Do you remember red, yellow, and blue are our primary colors? All the other colors in the spectrum are created by these three colors. And that's what he did. You can see the that big sculpture, he called that a stable. Instead of a mobile, it's a stable. And it's more like a sculpture to me, but it's red. All right. And he only used red, blue, and yellow in all of his work. So we are starting a mobile today. Instead of drawing class, we're going to make mobiles. So you have all the supplies that you need to make it. And the clay, everybody has a piece of clay that we're going to form into any kind of a base that looks similar to this, okay? This is how big around it is. Everyone has the same size too. So we're going to start forming it, the clay, into something like this. So it can stand up, and so it can stand up like this. You can see in the big screen. And then we're going to put the big long wire inside. All right, so I'll put it this way so you can see. Maybe, do I need a different color background? That's probably better. All right, and everybody has their card of the shapes. So we're going to color the circles and the triangles. And let me pop that picture on so you can get an idea. I think I sent it in an email.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, dear.
I cut my area where I color a little.
What's that?
I cut my area where I color a little.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So we're not going to cut yet. First, we want to color, but we'll do that in a minute. Let's start working on our clay, okay? I'm just going to get this other picture up here for us. Let's see. So that was one sculpture, that big red one. Oh, I was going to tell you. So this sculpture is in the town near where I grew up in Michigan, in Grand Rapids. And I've seen this gigantic sculpture. It's downtown in kind of a big city. And it's huge. It's amazing. So it's called the Grand Rapids, but he used a different term, some French words for grand and for rapids. I think Vinesse, Grand Vinesse. And so I wanted to show you a picture of that. And now I'm going to show you a couple other pictures. So here's a mobile to give you kind of an idea of what we're going to do. And you can see that there's balancing going on. All right. This one has a couple, well, a few of those balls are like weights, okay? So it was really important to him to make all of his mobiles balance. So the weight of that one ball on the left was the same weight to make it balanced as all the other objects and the little balls on the right. So let's get the clay out and start molding it. This is Sculpey clay. If you want to keep it soft like it is now, you can. Otherwise, if you'd like to harden it, you can have your folks, one of your parents, bake it in the oven. And I will send some instructions on that with our email, okay? So you can make it hard, or you can, when we're all done making the mobile, you can use it as just some play Sculpey clay, all right? So for today, we're just going to mold it into kind of a shape like this. It does not have to be just like this. I almost made it like a pyramid, but flat on top. And we're just gonna squish it together. So start working on that clay, okay? And I'm gonna talk a little bit and show you some pictures about Alexander Calder. So go ahead and get working on your clay so you have a base like this, okay? That we can stick our wire in. I'll set that down there. All righty. So don't worry about coloring and cutting yet. We'll do that in a little bit. Let's get our clay working. And some more information about Alexander Calder. So he was an American sculptor. He's from America. He's from Pennsylvania. Have you heard of the state Pennsylvania? Probably. And he lived from 1898. So he was born in the 1800s. And he lived until 1976. All right. In fact, that was 10 years after I was born. So I was 10 when he died. His dad was a well-known sculptor, so it's in the family. And both his grandparents were artists too. How interesting is that? Everybody working on their clay? Yep, get it into a nice clump that has a flat bottom. All right. He always enjoyed making art, but he trained as a mechanical engineer in college. So he had the education to engineer or create things. I think that's kind of where his creative side kind of pulled into making art, creating his art in these mobiles and stables. He began painting a few years after college, and he's really known for abstract art that moves. All right, it was said that he even put motors on some of his mobiles to make them move. Just keep going around and around. That sounds really interesting. I did not come up with any pictures of that, but that might be something fun to kind of look into. He ended up, I think it was probably too much work to make a motor. So he just relied on air current within a room to make his mobiles move. So that's what he ended up doing mostly, is just using air current and making lots and lots of mobiles. Let's see. So his mobiles were designed carefully, really carefully, to create just the right balance and suspension in air. Now you'll see, like this one in particular and the picture, that's hanging from like a ceiling, okay? That's hanging from something. The one we are going to work on will have a base, and it will still have some balancing going on. So this was kind of like a standalone type of mobile. He had the suspended ones, and then he had the one that you saw in the first picture, that big red sculpture, the Calder. That is, I would just call that a sculpture, but I think he called that a stable, like not a horse stable, but like a mobile. It's a stable because it stays stationary. He did some paintings. He did do some paintings, and the one we're going to do is this drawing that's on your canvas that I have up here. And I did find out, so this is not exactly the picture that I gave you, that copied picture to put on your card. Some artists in the past up to current times, they don't want other people copying their work. And artists have to be really careful about not copying and selling their own work that looks like that artist. Okay, so I did find out that I'm not allowed to use, we can't really paint, and I can't really sell the canvas of Calder's. So I kind of made my own. So you'll see that it will looks kind of similar what we paint next time from the picture that you have to put on your card. So that's why it looks a little bit different. But I did want you to know it is important with art and artists that you don't copy their stuff and call it yours. Kind of like what you might have heard with schoolwork. You can't copy other people's tests, can you? Same thing with art. He also made jewelry, which I saw a few things. I didn't put a picture in, but I don't know if you've ever made like strung beads on to make a necklace or bracelet, something like that. I've made beaded jewelry and earrings. And so he did some things like that. He also made theater sets. So if you've ever done anything with theater and you have like the backdrops on the stage, he designed that kind of stuff. He also designed costumes for theaters. So I thought that was really interesting. So that said, how are the clumps of clay coming along? You can let me know. Getting there? Good, good. That's perfect.
This is mine.
Yep,
mine is really funky.
It looks perfect. All we need is a nice, heavy, solid base for our mobile, okay? And if you can kind of flatten it, gently flatten it on your table, get a nice flat bottom there. All right, and let me make the screen a little bigger here so I can see everybody. Oh, come on, screen. All right, and looks like Kian's got his. Okie doke. And you have yours.
He's a robot.
Yeah.
He's a robot.
All right. Is yours pretty good, Lily? Awesome. Perfect. Good. Okay, good. All right. Like I said, if you want your parents to bake it so it's nice and hard and stays hard, you can do that. Otherwise, after today, if you want to just play with this Sculpey clay, it's yours to play with. All right. Now, let's get to coloring our shapes. So when we color the front, and you can use any of these three colors, okay? We're only using the primary colors, yellow, red, and blue. So you decide what you want, and only one color per shape, okay? And we're gonna try and keep this true to Mr. Calder. So you can choose what color you want to do each of the circles and triangles on the front. We will cut them out after you color the front side. We'll flip it over after you've cut the shapes out, and then we'll color colors on the other side, okay? So I have some markers here. Like I said, you can use markers, crayons, color pencils. What do you have that's easiest and less messy? So no paint today. And I'm gonna do circle in red. And remember, you don't have to worry about going outside the line because we're going to cut that off. We're just going to cut right around the shapes. So this is just a little different class. It's not our drawing class. I think this will be a fun class today. And it gives you another idea of what different artists do, what different artists work. Not all artists are based on a canvas or a piece of paper. And I just think it's important to kind of get a feel for the different types of art that's out there. I bet there is something for everybody. Like I told you, I've done some jewelry making, something that I even saw at Hobby Lobby, if any of you are interested. It's called quilling. It's used, oh, you got it? Good job, Zoe. Great. Quilling is using little strips of paper and you twist it on this little tool and you kind of make spiraled little strips of paper and then you glue them down. And I did that. I was probably 10 when I took a class with our community when I was little. And I thought that was so cool. Some other things that some people do, it takes a little more work, is pounding these little tiny nails onto a piece of wood. And then it's called string art. So you string embroidery thread, I think, or just regular string around that hooks around the nails, and you can make a design doing that. That's another class I took when I was little. As well as just painting and drawing. It's just, yeah.
There's also this thing that I do, I fold paper into this like until it's tiny, not like tiny, but small, and then I cut it and make designs and then unfold it.
Oh, so
it's like a Christmas ornament.
Oh, did you? Oh, good. So the folding is kind of like making snowflakes. I'm sure you've done that at some point. And where you just fold it a few times and make some cuts, and then you open it up and it's a round snowflake. Those are always fun. So it's just so good for your brain to use the right side of your brain in being creative. And that's what I've really wanted to teach you this year is how to be creative and to kind of give you a taste of what different artists have done and see if that'll get you some interest going. I have a fine marker and this is taking me forever. So if you get ahead of me, as usual, you guys are always speedy. If you get all your colors on these shapes, go ahead and start cutting them out, okay? I think I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see these lines. Very good. Oh, you are done. Very good, Zoe. Go ahead and cut those out and then we'll...
like a Dorito.
Yeah. Cute. And go ahead and cut those out and then turn it over and we'll color the other side too, okay?
Cut them out?
Yep. These are going to be the pieces to hang on our mobile. You got yours? Okay, good, Dexter. All right, go ahead and get those cut out and then we'll color the other side. And if you want to keep it the same colors you did on the other one, on the other side, you can do that. Oh my goodness. It's hard coloring a big space with a fine marker. Ay, ay, ay. All right, that's good. Let's see, I think I'm gonna do yellow. Maybe I'll do yellow triangle. I'm actually using paint markers. They're Posca pens and they're kind of fun to use. I've used them in my paintings, in some of my paintings, because they have a nice fine point, but it's still paint that's inside here. So it works well with
Dorito and my colorful one is...
Oh, there you go. So get my triangle colored in here. This is going to be a faster class today. Making up this mobile is going to be a lot faster than doing lots of drawing exercises. I hope you guys are practicing and drawing in your journals. Get those filled up. And you can show your homeschool teacher what you've been working on. And whatever paint, so I gave everybody...
I have a blue Dorito.
Oh, yep, that's true. Blue. Well, it's like the purple chips, right? Those purple ones. I like those ones. What was I gonna say? I forgot. All right, there's a yellow. I think I'll do my other ones blue. And just be careful cutting them out. I hope everybody has some safe scissors. If you need help, have your parent help you, okay? Woo! A lot came out here. Oh, do I have a paper towel? And sometimes with paint pens, a lot of paint comes out. That was too much. Alrighty. So get them cut out and start working on the other side. If you want to. What's that?
I'm done.
You're done? All right. One moment. Has anybody made a mobile before? Like maybe using a hanger?
No.
No? Okay. I've done that before. Maybe when my kids were little. It's been a long time. And I remember making one when I was a kid in school. And you can make them really, really simple. But they do have to be able to hang from something unless you make a base like we have here.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Can I throw away the trash?
Yes. Yep. The extra pieces we do not need. And yeah, shoot, I wish I would have grabbed a thicker marker. I'm going to be coloring this for days. I'll just get this finished and then we'll get assembling our little mobile here. Now the example I saw was using a little block of wood, and I didn't, Sadie, I didn't want to bother with having to go cut wood because I don't have a saw. My husband does, but I don't want to get a saw out. So I thought, what could I use as a base for our mobile? And I thought, clay. I love using clay. My kids have used Sculpey clay. If you can get your hands on more Sculpey clay, it's so much fun. You can keep using it. The Sculpey kind does not air dry, so it stays soft. If you've ever used it, it's like a polymer. It stays soft unless you bake it and you want to keep that shape, save that shape. So they have it, I'm sure they have it at Walmart. I have not looked at Walmart lately for it, but I did get this from Hobby Lobby. And it was not too expensive for a big chunk to cover our whole class. And it's a lot of fun. My girls did a class in our own little co-op several years ago, making food, mini foods out of, I think we did clay. We did different colored clay. So they made like little mini hamburgers with like tan for the bun and like a brown for the burger and green piece for lettuce. So we made mini foods with the clay. It was a lot of fun. They really liked that. We were big fans of clay for a long time. And then then my boys started growing up and we got into the Legos. So we went from clay to Legos. I'm sure you guys have your share of Legos too, huh?
We have like
A whole box, but everything's piled on top of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think each of my boys have a great big huge bin full. And if they used to be the sets that you can, set up and create whatever theme it is. And but they're all in pieces now. All right, I'm just about done with this side. I will color the back side of mine later because this is taking too long. All right, grab my scissors. All right, so cut these out. You need to have that hole available, so don't cut the hole off so we can hang it.
Accident, I cut my hole off.
Oh no, well, if you can carefully either use a pencil or have your mom help you poke a hole in the other corner so it has a place to hang, okay? I thought maybe somebody might cut the hole off, but that's okay because you can make a new hole to be able to hang it. And two more here. Oh, the paint is still wet. So if your base is all ready.
I did a hole.
You did? Oh, let me flip over. Oh, good. There you go. So go ahead and get your long piece of wire out, okay? Get the long wire. And we're going to push that into just part way down into your clay, okay? So I'm gonna put it sideways. So we still want it pretty long and curved over like that, okay? Let me cut my blue circle out here. So we will, as we assemble this, you will find the more similar shapes and sizes of the paper that we cut out, the better they will balance. So if you ended up cutting one a little smaller, you might want to cut the other one that is going to balance with it a little bit smaller, but we'll play with it here. All right, so you have your big wire in. Does everybody have the big wire in? Get in the camera. All right, go ahead and stick that wire in. All right. And I'll watch for everybody to get the wire in there. There you go, Zach. Good. Kian's got his in. Let me flip back to Lily. Lily, do you have your wire in? Just about? Perfect. All right. So now we've got the wire. You've got 3.
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay. Keep going. Keep going. I'll watch ya. So, yep, I'll show you right here. So I just took it and right in the middle, you can see, I don't know if you can see that hole. Right in the center, I just pushed it about halfway down into the clay, okay? So it has a curve at the top and it's nice and secure in the clay. I'm gonna squish it around the hole that it pushed into. Okay. So you shouldn't have to bend the wire at all. All the wires are all in the right position. All righty. You got that? It's kind of hard to, here, I'll put it down here. Put my other background. There, maybe that looks better. Does it look kind of like mine?
Where do I put the, okay, there.
Does that look like it? Okay. So we've got your other 3 pieces of wire that are shaped like a V. Where's my camera? All right, we've got 3 of these. So I'm gonna stand it up now. And maybe it's easier to see from this camera. All right, we're going to hook 1 into our big hook like that. Okay. There you go. Good, Dexter. Good, you got it. And then take one of the V wires and hook that in the little hook on the top wire. And then we're going to take the other 2 V's and hook them. And you'll see that it balances nicely. Okay, let me turn it this way. There you go. It wants to spin a little bit, which is cool because that's what Alexander Calder liked, right? He liked his mobiles to move. All right, so you have all your wires connected, right? One from the top hook and one on each side of the first. All right, now we're going to add our shapes. So if you've got the hole, let me get back in the camera. I'm going to set it down. You can kind of see from this view how I hook it on. So I'm just going to hook the hole on the hook of the wire. All right. And you can try and play with it to see which balances best. So you can tell, let me hold it up here. This is kind of lopsided because I only have one shape on. See how it's hanging down? So now I'm going to put one on the other side. and then it balances better because the weights are more similar. Okay, so you have 4 hooks, so put your 4 shapes on the hooks. Like that.
Look at mine.
Let me see. Oh, we got to flip over to everybody. Good job, Zach. You got it. Pretty cool, huh? You made your mobile. Very good. How's yours coming, Kian? Getting your shapes on? Good, good. How is yours, Dexter? Zoe has hers. Good. And you can see it has a little bit of movement. You can kind of spin it in the clay, and it will move back and forth. It won't, these pieces won't totally turn in a full circle. It can only turn as much as what the wire is in, but it balances pretty well with a similar size shape. So
I cannot put on these triangles.
you can't? Is it hard?
Yeah, I'm gonna get my mom's help.
Okay. All right. Go get some help. There you go, Dexter. How's yours, Zoe? Did you get it? Yes. Okay. Perfect. And Zach and Kian have finished theirs. Kian's almost done. See, that was a little different class today, huh? What'd you think? Was that kind of fun? Now you can set this on a shelf, set it on your dresser,
Yes.
set it on the table. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, just something very different. And I thought, let's do some hands-on stuff, make some mobiles. I want to show you.
Can you put it on your ceiling?
Probably not this type of a mobile. If you took the 1V off that has these, you could hang that from the ceiling, couldn't you? I don't know how you would do it with the clay. I'm sure you could be creative and make it work. But this was made to not have to pin something on your ceiling or on your wall. You could make one sticking out from the wall if it was like probably nailed to the wall. I want to show you one more picture here. See, that's the weighted sculpture using weights to balance. And then here we started with this, I think, the red mobile. And that's just using, I think, paper or metal. And that's a bigger one. That's suspended from the ceiling as well. So that was kind of interesting. And where did his painting go? And then there's the big one, the red one. So I think this is really neat. I'm so glad I got to see that while I lived in Michigan. All right, does anybody have any questions about Alexander or their mobile?
If this mobile could hang from the ceiling, I would probably just put it on my, stick it on my ceiling.
Would ya?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you guys all had mobiles when you were babies in a crib, but doesn't this look kind of similar?
We lived in an RV by then, and Dexter had to sleep in a cupboard.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a mobile.
Didn't. I remember having Winnie the Pooh, a Winnie the Pooh one that I used for most of my kids, and it just hung over. It was super cute. It had Pooh Bear, Piglet, Eeyore, and Tigger, and I wasn't even thinking about these kind of mobiles, but back then. But yeah, there's lots of different kinds of mobiles. If you're at different museums, they might have some very cool creative ones hanging from the ceiling, really big ones. I've seen some lights that were actual sculptures that looked like a mobile, but there are sculptures and artists have made those, and they're glass. So I can't imagine if something happened and it fell, that would be a huge mess. But some artists will make some sculptures within lights that hang from the ceiling. So those are really cool. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. So in 2 weeks, we will paint this painting. And I think it was called Untitled, if I remember correctly. And this is just going to be, well, you can look at the picture that I gave you for your card. We're going to do the similar colors. We're just going to use, we're going to use paint though. Well, next time we'll use paint and we'll fill in yellow, red. We'll make most of the circles black except for these two. We will do a red and a blue one. And this should be kind of fun.
Teacher?
Yes.
I made a face on mine.
You made a face? Oh, cute. Can you?
All beautiful, that's stable.
Aw, oh, good. All righty. Well, like I said, if you want to keep your mobile and.
Thank you.
Oh, you are welcome. If you want to keep the clay and if you want to keep that clay and use it just to play with, you can. If you want to keep your mobile just like this to set on the shelf, go for it. It's yours, okay? And I will see you all in 2 more weeks for our last class. All right, you guys take care. Have a good weekend, okay?
Excuse me.
Yes, yes.
We will not be available next time because we're going to Utah.
You're going to Utah? Oh, boy. Well, I will send your folks the recording after our paint class, and then you can follow along and paint it, okay?
Okay.
When you get back from Utah. All right. All right. Thanks, you guys. It's good to see you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. You guys take care.
Thank you.
Lily, did
Thank
you?
you.
Oh, you're
Bye.
welcome, Dexter. Bye. Lily, did you get yours finished? No? Do you need some help? I'll stay right here and I can watch you.
All I could put on was this. No.
Oh, okay. So you have 2 more wires, right? So take that wire with your shapes. You have 1 wire like that. Take that off.
Oh, the other one that's on there?
And we're going to put a wire on with no shapes. All right. Just 1 wire and hook that on. Whoops, get on there. Put it over here. Yep, just hook the 1 plain wire on the big wire. There you go. All right. And then you take your 2 wires with the shapes and hook it on that plain wire. So these 2 have your 2 shapes that you cut out. Get it back up. There we go. So it looks more like this. Yeah, it takes a little bit of work trying to get those shapes on. Show me when you get the 2 wires with shapes on it. I need to finish coloring mine. There's some color. Is that working?
I'm just still working on it.
Let's see. There, now I can see closer. Let me see. All right, you got one shape on that one wire. Good. And do you have another triangle or circle for the other side? So you want to end up, there you go. Oh, whoops, nope, almost. Here, I'll show you. So do you see how it bends at the top? That's where you want to hook. Let's see, take it off here. So I'm starting with a plain one and hook that on your big wire. Let me bring it over here.
It's already there.
Yep, you got the plain one, right? And then you take your one with the shapes, the two shapes hooked on it like this.
Okay, put them on.
Yep, shapes on both sides, on both hooks. And then at the top of that point is where it hooks on the plain wire, like that. Okay, there you go. And now you've got,
The plain wire removed, the plain wire removed.
and then you've got two more shapes and one more wire, right? So I have to hook mine back on. So I'm putting my triangle on one side and my circle on the other side. So I have one. So I end up having two of these, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And then they hook on either side of the plain wire that's bent.
There we go.
You got it? Yes, you got it. See how it balances perfectly?
Yeah. And when I take one off, the other one is heavier. But if I put the other one off, balance.
Exactly. And all we need in life is balance, right? It keeps us going straight. So you got it. Awesome. Good job. All right. Well, this was fun. Next time we will paint. We will use those paints. And like I always say, I gave you extra paint. So if you want to use that extra paint after our class next time, you can paint whatever you want with that. In fact, something you could do that might be fun is to cut your own shapes and put a hole in it and make different designs to hang on your mobile. You could do that on your own if you like. Hold it up so I can see it all together.
Okay. Just let me get it right.
Perfect. Oh, that looks wonderful. You did a great job. Yay. Good job. All right. Well, real good. All right. Well, next time we will paint. And that will be our last class this year. It went fast. Did you have fun in art class?
Yeah.
Good. I'm so glad. So glad you got to experience some art. All righty. Well, I have a meeting to get to. So I am going to close out my room here. You have a good weekend and I will see you in a couple weeks, okay?
Okay.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.